Atlanta, your girl Vicky Bro here. I am here with the beautiful, beautiful ladies of Escape. We have Candy, Tiny, and Tamika. How are y'all doing?
Oh, we're good.
How are you? I'm doing good. Y'all have been busy. Y'all have a lot going on with the new show, Queens of R&B. A lot going on, which we'll get to. But first, I need to know who thought it was a good idea to only have 6 episodes.
It's a special. It's not a full series. So I know a lot of people be like, oh, are they gonna get a second season? But it was never meant to be like a multiple season show. It's a special.
I feel like it's so much content though.
It is. I agree with you. It's like really too much to put into 6 episodes.
And they missed out on a lot of things too.
They took a lot out.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because it was just too much.
But a lot was going on after we finished filming too. So like I know they was like, dang, we missed it.
Yeah, but I mean every episode is pretty much action packed. I mean I think when you see a lot of reality shows when they first start, the whole first episode be kind of like because they be trying to reintroduce people.
Right.
But I was right off rip first episode.
Yeah. I mean, was getting into it.
Yeah.
So let's rewind a little bit though. How did we go from Amazing versus Battle, SWV Escape to let's do a little mini series?
Mona Scott Young.
That sounds right.
Written all over it, right?
Yeah, it was her great idea.
Yeah. And I feel like, was there any kind of hesitation because y'all did have a lot going on? So
it was a lot of hesitation.
We got tricked.
Everybody was hesitant on our side. Every last one of us.
It wasn't that we weren't really communicating like we should have. So I know for me, I didn't really want to sign my agreement. They like, oh, everybody else signed an agreement. You ain't signed it yet. And then I was feeling bad because I was like, I don't want to stop in anybody's bread. But had I spoken with everybody, then I would have known that they were hesitant as well.
She signed before we did. She got tricked.
Well, I didn't sign before everybody, but everybody hadn't signed it.
Really?
Like the way they were trying to make me feel like.
You were the problem child.
Yes, they were trying to make me feel like I was the problem. And I had been going through that whole year. I had been trying to have a year of yes to my group because I get tired of people always trying to label me as the problem. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, if I just go along with everything they want to do for a year, let's see how it goes.
Yeah. And how's it going?
Candy.
Yeah. Well, my year yes actually started before the verses.
Yeah.
So they had a manager they wanted to work with. Mm-hmm. I was like, I didn't know the person. I didn't have a relationship. I was like, all right. They had a business manager they were thinking about working with. Okay. All those people, we ain't working with them no more.
Right, that part.
So you know how it worked out.
Yeah, well, you tried.
Well, I tried, but I was like, at least they can't say
I was so glad.
I was the problem.
I was so glad she came back because it was 2 against 1. But when she came back, it made it even 2 and 2.
Yeah, we're on a voting system in our group.
Right.
And we always have been. Everybody has equal votes. So, that's why for me, this is different. Now that Tamika and her sister aren't on the same page. But I used to always feel like everybody was against me because, you had 2 sisters in the group. Mm-hmm. So they was automatically going to side together. And if they got in tiny too early, then it'd be 3 against 1.
Yeah. But I started coming over there with you, Candy, because I started seeing that you ain't have no help and you was right a lot of times. So, let me go on over here and fool with my sister.
Girl, bye.
You 2 sisters? No, at the beginning. Yes.
Okay,
in the beginning when we were younger.
We was younger.
No, but when I said something to you when I don't know if you remember that conversation.
You like, you got to start sticking with me because they gonna always stick together. I'm like, all right.
Candy said, come over to my side of the tracks.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of things, people not getting along, I feel like this, the show, like we said, kicked off with a bang. Mm-hmm. A major storyline for this season is the issues that you're having with your 4th group member, Latasha, your sister, Tamika. And really the issues that were, I guess, a result of the conversation that you were actually trying to have with your mom and your sister. It was supposed to be a really coming together moment because you and your sister hadn't spoken.
Right.
And so that kind of blew up and escalated. In that moment, going back to that, was it a moment where you were just like, you know what, I just got to say this, I got to get it off my chest? Or did you even think about it? Like, did it just come out?
Girl, before I even went to film, I was in a car and I said, okay, I'm going to put on my imaginary What Would Jesus Do bracelet. And during the filming, I kept looking down at my arm like, okay, what would Jesus do? And then I kept and I started rocking, and it's like I was looking at my arm. All of a sudden, the thing slipped off my arm. The imaginary thing slipped off, and when I felt attacked, it was just lies. Like when I walked in, my sister she did not want to work that out. I walked into, oh, you think you're better than everybody else. You don't know how to treat people. It was like, and I'm sitting here like, this is our first conversation. Yeah. And you doing this in front of the cameras? Like, we supposed to be making up right now. So, and I even brought my daughter. A lot of people's like, why she bring her daughter? I brought my daughter because I was like, if they see my daughter, they're like, oh, this is my niece. You know what I'm saying? Let's be a big family. But honey, it was like she was sitting there, but she wasn't. Like, they just totally just ignored her sitting there. So I just felt like I was being beaten up on. And it was just lies. And I was like, okay, I know how to shut you up with the truth. Yeah. And it just came out. It wasn't planned. It was something that I had forgiven her for. Yeah. Something that I had swept under the rug, but because I felt so attacked. And I had to, that was my defense mechanism, and I just had to, and it just came out. Yeah.
And for those who don't know, it's a lot of layers to it. I'll try to give a brief overview of kind of what's going on. Candy, you did a great job of kind of breaking it down on Speak on It. But I believe it was, Tiny, was it your mom who found out about Sound Exchange?
Yes.
Okay, so years ago, Tiny's mom found out about Sound Exchange, which is kind of like a union that gives artists...
similar to a union. I don't know, it might be a union, but for artists. So basically, whereas a lot of songwriter unions collect royalties for us as songwriters, you know how always people hear like airplay royalties, only the songwriters get paid.
Right.
So when Sound Exchange started in the early 2000s, they basically collected a performance royalty for artists from, songs playing on the radio. And
performance, like if you sing your song,
the performance royalty,
you get paid for that.
Yeah. Okay. So a lot of us, it's a lot of people who still don't know about Sound Exchange, and they have collected royalties. So by the time we found out about it, they had already collected some money. So it was a nice piece of change that each person was supposed to receive, I guess. I didn't know about it either. Like Tiny's mom signed me up.
Tiny's mom signed all of us up.
That's what I was going to ask you. So she signed all of you up. So Candy and Tiny, you guys got your checks. Tamika, you were not receiving a check.
It was like a couple of years later, and she called. She was like, baby, Tiny just got a nice little check, baby. Did you get your check, baby? I said, what check? She said, baby, the check I signed you up a few years ago. I said, I haven't seen the check. Yeah. So I didn't know. So she's like, I'm going to get on the phone. Let me find out where your money. So once she did her investigation, it was like my address had been changed. She put my address in. At the time, I was living in New York. So she put my New York, it was changed to my mom and my sister's address. My sister was living with my mom at that time.
Okay. And so you still really don't know how the address got changed?
No.
So
I mean, I know, but I didn't do it. Miss Diane didn't do it.
Yeah. And so allegedly, according to you, Tamika, the checks were going. I'm pulling a Candy. Allegedly.
Allegedly, you got me here.
She got on the phone with the guy who basically at the time was running, I guess, that department, and he basically gave her the address where her checks had been going, and he also told her these checks are being cashed. So she was like, being cashed, and then she wanted to see the checks, and they
sent the copies of the checks. On the back of the check was a fake handwriting that said my name and my sister's husband's name. It was cash in his account.
Wow.
So I endorsed.
Endorsed. Back then, I don't know if they can still do it now. Yeah. But 9 years ago, you could do that.
So yeah, a lot of people, I guess that helps to explain. I know a lot of people's like, how could somebody get your check, or how could you not know you had a check coming? I didn't know I had one either. It just came out of the blue. Same call she got. I got two from Diane. Like, oh, did you get your check? And I was like, oh yeah, I didn't know it was coming either. So it can happen, for people who questioned how.
Yeah, it can happen. Yeah, because I'm names
and
on the back
then
of
you
that
said
check.
it was like a fake email.
Yeah, see, when we do business,
this is deep.
When we do business, it's times where we have to send over not fax over, but scan like our passports so we have on emails all of our information, our social security, all of us are privy to that. And one of the items that was used was my passport. So when they sent me the picture of the passport, I looked at my passport. I had not signed my passport, but the same passport was signed, which was a piece of paper that somebody forged my name that was sent to them to be me. And then some, and they went as far as putting Tamika Scott something at Gmail and was they were communicating with them through a fake Tamika Scott Gmail account.
There are so many layers to this.
There's a lot of layers.
I mean,
and it's all true. There's no lie. There ain't no lying in it.
So your sister Latasha, I know she's saying obviously that it's not true. She didn't have your check. Is she offering you any kind of explanation about what might have happened since she's saying she didn't get it?
No. When it happened, the year it happened, she was quiet. She didn't say that. She was sitting there looking crazy. And my mom was mad at me.
Yeah. And I do want to go back to that because I think things exploded obviously during the scene. And of course your mom said to cut the cameras. When the cameras went off, what happened?
I left. I was like, I'm not staying here for this.
Yeah. Also, I think there was a really powerful a really powerful moment in episode 2 when you were talking with Taj and she was asking you about, why do you think so many years you followed your sister so blindly? And you said it was because that's when you felt you got your mother's love. Mm-hmm. That brought tears to my eyes because I really felt in that moment, I felt just so bad. How do you go about healing from that? Because, although the show, of course, was taped a couple months ago, this is something you say you've been dealing with since you were young, and it's still now. So what does that healing process look like for you?
I want to say that I'm in that process right now. Mm-hmm. I'm in the beginning stage.
Yeah. It's going to take work, and it's going to take time, especially when it's two people really so near and dear to your heart. Mm-hmm. So, you go through your process, and you'll get through it, and you have two amazing sisters who are here for you.
She has a beautiful family.
Yeah. I know that can't be easy. Oh, man. All right. Well, ladies, Candy, I feel like also for you have a lot going on this show and a lot going on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Mm-hmm. How are you staying sane? Because there's a lot of kind of drama that's kind of coming your way.
Last year really kind of took me off my my block. You know what I mean? Meaning it was a lot going on within our group, obviously, as you see happening on the show. And that took me all the way through September, right? Did we finish? Mm. And then I had to immediately go into the Housewives season 15 filming. And that, y'all see it when it comes out. They was on me from the time the season had started. New people and all. And so, I had a lot of built up frustration and anger. Mm. And I really feel like I was going in on people all the way through the end of 2022. So when I came into 2023, I was like, I'm not going to allow people to get me out my zone. Mm. I got to, decompress and regroup because on and off camera, I was letting people hit. No, but normally I'm very laid back and it normally takes a lot to push my buttons, stuff like that. But I feel like because I already was feeling anxiety, I guess, from, us finishing what we were finishing and going straight into that, first week. It was some new girl coming at me with the BS, and I was like, "Wait, hold on."
Who is the new girl, Candy?
You'll see when you see the show. It was just a lot. Yeah. So it was just to have reality TV is not easy as it is, and I think the other girls, sometimes feel like, "Oh, Candy doing all these shows or whatever," but it's it's not easy to do 2 reality shows back to back, especially when there's a lot of serious issues. And our issues within our group are way more serious to me than the stuff that happens on Housewives, just simply because we have more history and we have a whole, legacy that we have built and that we're trying to continue. So for me, everything hits different.
Yeah, of course.
This,
Yeah. And speaking of Real Housewives of Atlanta, are you guys filming anything now? Because of course there was the breaking news with Drew and her recent divorce news.
They did have the cameras up that week.
Okay.
Even though we were supposed to be totally finished, but every now and then, obviously you have pickups with your little interview clips or whatever. Right. So if something happens during the time that they're getting pickups, then they picked it up.
Have you spoken to Drew at all about everything?
Via text, I reached out to her. See, this is my thing, and this is tough. I love Drew, and I'm very cool with Ralph. Ralph and Todd are friends, but I don't want a repeat of what happened with Phaedra and Apollo. You know how we were friends with them, and when they split or whatever, it was like this big drama. So I'm there for Drew, but I don't want to get too much in it because I don't really want anybody to feel like I'm showing favoritism. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, especially because you've been through that
Exactly.
before.
So I just told her, I'm here for you if you want to talk. If you don't want to talk, I'm okay with that too. Because then you can't never say I said nothing. You can't never say I, did anything. Yeah. Like I'm trying to be totally in the clear of that. If she want to have fun and go out and talk, like I'm down for that. Like I just don't really want to get into personal.
Because it can become messy real quick.
Yeah, because we're still on Housewives, and you know how they can turn things that really wasn't meant to be messy into messy.
Oh, of course, easily.
And then the tough part about it is, she's the lead actress in the movie My Husband and I just produced, and it's.
So did you know that?
I didn't know anything.
Okay.
And I don't want to say anything that puts me in anything. So
we're going to leave it alone.
Leave the field.
Now, Tiny, I feel like you at least try to be the peacemaker amongst everybody. I feel like that could be a kind of a heavy weight to carry sometimes, though.
Well, I'm used to doing it. I think it's partly in my makeup. You know what I'm saying? Cancers are just kind of known for nurturing and, doing that kind of thing. So, I mean, it's part of who I am.
Yeah. And
she is a nurturer.
And going back to Queens of R&B, of course, like we talked about, just issues going on. Where do each of your individual relationships stand with Latasha as of today?
Starting with
anybody.
Me.
Well, Candy and I don't have her number. She just recently gave her new number. She changed her number, so we didn't have her number for a while. But she recently reached out to Tiny and invited her to her something she was having.
When she told her to invite the girls.
You can invite the girls.
She reached out to me, so I was able to get her new number, and she said that she wanted to invite me to her gospel. She's having a listening party in California, and we were all leaving that day supposedly, but.
We all did leave.
Well, we did, but I was trying to change my flight so I could go, but
it was you tried to change it, but all the first class was sold out, so she had to keep her flight. So she would have been there.
But Tamika, she did say to tell the girls.
You can tell the girls. You can tell the girls, like, girl.
Maybe it was a little olive branch.
No.
It was a little awkward that week. That was our press week leading up to the show, and it was already a little tension on when we was doing the interviews.
Yeah.
So it was.
They started out pretty good. The top of those couple of days started out like kind of nice and
everybody's
friendly.
being cordial.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
to that last day.
And then the last day it got a little.
Slick.
Poking
Just
at
keep
each
poking.
other,
Ain't no poking at each other.
Well,
tell the truth.
Yeah, it started. Yeah.
It wasn't.
It went left.
Okay, real quick.
But for me,
it started on the other side, and then she poked a little bit, and then baby girl got a little upset, and that's what happened.
It went left. For me and Tasha never really been on the same page, so I don't feel any differently about it. Like, I feel like I always get blamed for everything. It don't matter what's going wrong in her life.
Why are you shelving everybody's projects, Candy?
I'm telling you, Candy, you gotta shame yourself.
People make me way too powerful in a situation. Like, for some reason, everybody find a way to make me the enemy. Or it's like, I'm the villain.
It's raining outside.
Candy did it.
It's snowing.
I stumped my toe. Candy did it.
You did.
She knew I was coming this way, and she put that there so I could stump my toe. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Like every time something go wrong, if they arguing, I did it. We doing shows just to 3. Oh, I made them do it. It's like everything is my fault. Okay.
Well, I mean, at this point, like, do you think there are actionable steps that can make it fixable? Is it fixable?
I don't think it's fixable for me because she'll say that she's cool with me, but then she'll straight be doing something else.
Telling Tiny something.
I mean, I think the sad thing is that, as far as working together, we have a great chemistry on stage, but, her husband is a part of her management. He pretty much runs everything, even though she does have someone a management team.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we collectively don't want to be involved with anybody's husband's, you know, especially hers, because he's always in the mix, and, you know, whatever that is. And, you know, we can't seem to disconnect that, you know what I'm saying? Even when we try, like, okay, this time we're gonna try to do it, and, you know, everybody's husband's gonna be out of it. We're gonna get us a manager. Everybody's gonna have one manager, and we're gonna work like that. Either way it goes, it always finds its way back to, you know, I guess our past history of how business used to be run. And so that just tells us that, you know, there's no way around working without working through him. You see what I'm saying? And that's, you know, that's her person. So if we're going to work together again, I mean, we probably, right now we can't see it. You know, we can't never say never, because she is a part of the group.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Tamika, I mean, what about you? What is your relationship with your sister and your mom stand right now? Working on it. Okay, we can leave it at that. That's fine. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the group as a whole. Are we a little bit closer to maybe an Escape docu-series or movie?
Well, you know,
Candy, why?
Candy is she on the fence. She kind of like, I don't really want to do it. But
Candy.
to be honest with you,
who do it? Me
The
and
fans
Tiny
want
talked
it.
about like a little series.
We would love to do a series,
and our
because
story is still being told.
Yeah.
it's still going. You know, we never know what tomorrow may bring for Escape. And, you know, it's a lot to pack in a 2-hour,
Like 6 episodes.
2-day movie. It's a lot to pack in there. So if we could have it our way, a series would be dope, kind of like they did for Wu-Tang.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Girl.
That's what I can see that.
Wu-Tang,
Yeah.
yes.
See, Candy, it was really good.
And we want
It's not about that. It's not. I know if everybody was open about everything that's happened in the past, then I feel like it would be phenomenal, because our story is great.
Yes.
Yeah,
And we got a lot of crazy stuff that has happened
Yeah.
that y'all still don't know. I think people think they've seen everything or learned everything that they could about our group, and that is just not true.
it is
we got a lot.
so
You
much
know,
that
but-
people would never know. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
just don't. I don't be feeling like everybody else is as open to being honest about what has happened in the past.
Yeah, we would want transparency. That's the only way to really tell the story. And I
Right.
mean, you know, we know people beef it up for
We would
TV
have
or
to- we
whatever,
still have to
but at
beef
the
it up, but
same
we don't have
time,
to, 'cause
we
we got
want
enough
it to
trouble.
be, really true to what our story was. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because really, like she said, it's so much action
It's a lot.
and drama
It's a
and
lot.
just great things and crazy things that you would never think of, you know, that happened within our childhood from the time we met. And
Don't get that in the way, hush. You about to start
I'm not
telling-
finna tell
Now, I heard y'all was up there
She
using
said
fake
the time we met, you
IDs
about
and
to go
whatnot.
in.
Candy.
Ah, dang. See, who talking?
Dang, I didn't say it.
When we were young, and
Oh.
we used to stay up all night and go into the club. and
Yeah,
go
girl.
straight to
That's
church.
enough. Don't give him no more. Don't give him no more. Somebody listening.
You can say that.
Okay. So now I do want to play a Escape song name game. So I'm going to base it off your song titles and ask a question based off of that. So first, who can I run to? What current R&B artists do you run to? Who's on your playlist? Because, you know, there was a big conversation about R&B being dead and all of that.
I like the playlist, like, you know, like on Apple Music playlist, the new music playlist. Like, I just like to hear everything that's dropping. So I don't want to hear one person. I like to hear all the different songs, just, you know, because I want to stay current with what's
Yeah.
big.
Because I got a dope playlist that someone sent to me, and it has some amazing songs on there from like some people all over. Ella May, Mario, he got a dope song on there. Like it's a lot of people on there, and I'm just like, damn, I'm gonna gotta send it to y'all because it's dope.
Send it to me, girl.
It's lit.
Sure, I would love it.
Okay. What about you, Tamika?
I like all different types of music. Michael Bolton is like my number one go-to. His songs, I love like him, Michael McDonald. I like different types of music.
All right. Do you want to share one thing that fans might not know about you?
I feel like everybody knows so much.
That's what I'm saying, because y'all share
Y'all
so
go,
much.
Y'all finally got something.
Okay.
I like to crochet.
Oh,
I love to crochet. Like
Not that they didn't know
I've been
either.
crocheting for so many years. I made blankets for all my kids except Zanique, and maybe King. But starting with Major, I made him a blanket, and I think I did make King a blanket. I tried, but anyway, I love to crochet. It's just so relaxing, and just when you start seeing, I've made like a blanket, a couple blankets, and a small pillow. But I still need to get better. But I just started back. I was like, let me pick back up the crochet and stuff. So I just started back like a week or so ago, trying to teach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good, girl. That's so good.
Just, you know.
Mommy.
I like that. That's a nice
Tamika,
fun
something we
fact.
don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I love going to the gun range.
Okay.
Like the excitement of shooting different guns. Like my husband has this crazy gun collection, and I get a chance to just play around with it. It's things that I did when I was younger.
She said, try it if you want to.
I like that too.
All right. Just kicking it. Your favorite place to kick it in Atlanta?
The Trap Cafe.
Hey.
Come visit us.
Hey.
We open late.
Yes,
every
y'all are.
night.
You can get food at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And drinks. And they drinks ain't watered down, honey.
And we got good music, good drinks,
Yes.
and good food. So, come see
and
us.
a great atmosphere. Like when we went, I went with you once, and I
Yes.
went without you. I was like, "Bye, gone, honey."
Yes.
And it's like everybody there. Like you get up, you dance, you sing together. Like everybody's just all in tune. You know what I mean? It's just like a big family.
We have a good time now.
We do have.
That's, speaking of, I like the Friday night karaoke at Blaze, at my restaurant Blaze. It's lit.
Oh, it's on Friday night?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have fun.
Okay, Blaze.
Yes, they got
Your
good turkey
turn.
wings. It's the appetizer, baby. The
Okay.
turkey wing appetizer. It's a nice size too. So,
Where are you kicking it at, Tamika?
girl, I'm kicking it at home with my husband and my babies, and I'm cooking.
All right, tonight, outside of your family, if you could have dinner with anyone, dead or alive, who would you have dinner with tonight?
Outside of my family.
I might have dinner with Prince.
Why Prince?
I just love Prince. I think he's multi-talented. I think he's
I bet you got some good stories.
Yes, I think he's a very interesting person. You know what I'm saying? So I would like to just sit down and just, pick his brain and see.
I would say I would like to have dinner with God. I got a whole bunch of questions that need to be answered.
Now that was deep and
That
good.
was-
I would love to. I would love to.
Right, now how Candy's supposed to go after that?
I would
go
know you
after
asking
that.
me who I mean.
I'm taking
But
that for my
but
next
God
interview
is
with
not,
somebody.
God is
else.
not dead. He's not dead.
She said alive.
Or alive.
Jesus.
Or
Okay,
alive.
Right,
Yeah.
alive. But see, yeah, Jesus too. But God is.
Yeah,
I would
okay.
love that conversation. You know what I mean? The
That's
mystery
amazing.
of
I should have
things.
waited.
Yeah, that was good.
I wouldn't have
I
been able
mean,
to come
no
back. I wouldn't have been able to come back.
competition.
Come at
That
the
was the
end
competition,
of it.
Tamika.
I'm glad I went
Competition and
first.
questions.
Yeah, like you got that.
I'd be just laid out. You'd be like, "Are we having dinner? You gonna cry? What you want?"
Right.
Okay, and lastly, understanding. What do you think is the biggest misunderstanding about each of you?
Dang. I think the misunderstanding. Candy always felt like she was a troublemaker, but she's not. You're
Yeah.
not the troublemaker.
No, I didn't think I was I think I get labeled as the
Labeled.
troublemaker.
You ain't getting labeled as a troublemaker no more.
No, yeah.
Now Tiny's the troublemaker. No, just playing.
Well, I think not to make it. Okay, I definitely feel like everybody think Tiny's sweet, but Tiny will cuss you out.
In a heartbeat. And then turn around and hug you and forgot she cussed you out. Like
That sweet little Tiny.
I'm like, did we just cuss each other out in the room? Now you want to kiss on me? Come on, give me a hug.
Oh, my kids hate that.
What?
I cuss them out to them and be like, "Come on in here, baby." Then they be like, "I'm not dealing with you right now." All my kids, they be so mad.
That's funny.
Well, I appreciate you, ladies. I mean, I know it's a lot going on, but I'm definitely praying for you. I know the fans are too, because we, of course, want to see all four of you together. So hopefully y'all can get everything worked out. The rest of the season, I'm sure we're still going to see some bombs because, like I said, if episode 1 and 2 started off like that, I just know.
It's going down on the rest of
I can't wait to see him myself, Lord.
Me too. I'm trying to see.
I might sit this third one out for. I might wait till they
I'm
come
ready
on.
for
I'll
the
watch
fourth
it
one
probably
myself.
Thursday instead of
Why the
Sunday.
fourth one?
I feel like the fourth one got a shebang in it. I think it got a
When's
big
the
bang
fourth
in it.
one? The third one hasn't gotten here yet.
I know.
She's
I don't
skipping.
feel like the
I
third
know, I'm
one.
like,
don't-
man, I need a
I feel
hit
like
or
the third one
something.
gonna be good, but the fourth one
Girl,
got
all
all
of
the
them were
juice.
good. I want to say all the episodes are entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
We need more of that. Well, thank you, ladies, so much again. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
y'all swinging by Access Atlanta. And that's a wrap with Escape.